Sometime back, I came across a television commercial which was a conversation between two characters. So the first person tells the other, "Hey, try to lift this stick." Then the second person actually lifts the stick. Then the first person says in a funny way, "Hey, I don't want you to lift the stick, try." What is trying? Asked the second person. I mean, I just have to sit and watch. That is all that is trying. I felt that was a very nice way to convey the power towards the bias towards execution. Instead of just waiting for things to happen, go ahead and do things, was the message that I got from the commercial. Today we have one person who has actually gone ahead and got things done.
I thought, for me to spend time looking for a job, looking for an opportunity, go for interviews, why not just convert that effort into building something for myself from the get-go?
We have Kuntal, fondly called KJ. He's from Seashore Solutions. And he is going to share his journey, the path that he took. He moved from India to US. He is focusing on some very interesting problems that he is solving. He is standing out in the market, and it is a very, very exciting story.
Because tech demand was up, there were a lot of new things coming up. Businesses required new softwares, new support systems to streamline their operations or manage their data. So we were like, okay, it is a great space to be in.
Sit back, relax, and let's listen to Kuntal and understand his journey and get motivated from it. Let's get started. Hi KJ, nice to see you here. Thank you for joining.
Nice meeting you, Bharath.
KJ, let's start with the easiest question of all. Can you tell us about yourself?
I live in Austin, Texas. Co-founded a software company, IT services company. And we work on in different industry verticals, from food and beverage, insurance and finance sector, and general manufacturing, warehousing services. And we've been doing this for about 20 years.
Okay.
Originally from New York area and then settled in Austin, Texas.
Oh, got it. A little step back. What did you study? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Ahmedabad, India. Studied bachelor's in business administration as my bachelor degree, and then went for information systems in New Jersey with a university called NJIT.
Got it. And then how did this transition happen to the US, New York?
Back then, there were limited opportunities here, and there was an opportunity for me to go for further studies and go to US. So I availed that, and then after my graduation, due to 9/11, the opportunities were very less for the new hires, especially coming from India. So I was exploring what to do, how to settle in, and then moved into the business and, started working for myself.
Oh, that's actually very interesting, because when there was a challenge, you may be converted as an opportunity.
Yes, absolutely.
How did that happen? Like, isn't it tougher? Because when you know the market is already hit because of 9/11, and then you decided, okay, I will start something on my own.
Right. So basically, I thought, for me to spend time looking for a job, looking for an opportunity, go for interviews, why not just convert that effort into building something for myself from the get-go and invest that time and effort? Because back in the days, during that time, you may not get a job for a few months, right? So if you can spend 6 months trying to build something for yourself, I mean, anybody, right? You spend 6 months trying to build a business or trying to become an expert on something, you will get there. So consistently, I tried for a few months and I got a breakthrough. I got my first client, and then the journey began.
Yeah, that is very refreshing to hear. We have heard our Zoho CEO also say that, like, you just put your head down and focus on a problem and solve it, and you become an expert in that.
Exactly.
You're putting it in very simple. This is how I went about it. I found an opportunity, I focused on it, and I solved it.
Yes.
What were some challenges that you faced in that journey, KJ?
So, being new to the country, of course, and new to the business environment, there are a lot of learning, the differences between India and US. That was one. So you had to learn everything on the get-go. And back in the days, there was not much on the internet, right? So you had to rely on the libraries or conversation with your friends or family and others to learn or to see how to do those things. You would rely on your CPA, their references, your legal team's references, and then it was a little longer path than now, because today all information is available on the internet, and all you have to do is research or buy an online course. But back in the days, it was all not there, so it was a little challenging. But yeah, you just tackle the problem as it came, or an opportunity as it came, or a question as it came, basically, and try and find the answer.
Oh, interesting. So there are these two set of people, right? One that say that, hey, internet has helped our life better, we are much more happier, information is available, research is possible. There is another group that says our life is all public now, there is a lot of attention grabbing, a lot of attention deficit that is happening, let's say because of social media, etc. How do you see this conflict, KG?
So there's good and bad in everything, right? So I personally feel that it empowers you, and it basically helps you. So if you want to do good, internet is good. If you want to do something bad, or just spend your time browsing or something, then yeah, it's not going to help you but harm you. So it is a tool, which is, it depends on how you take it, right? How do you want to use that information, or how do you want to use the internet? So basically, in my opinion, it is very good if you use it correctly. It helps you elevate yourself to a next level.
Okay.
And in a way, it is required in this day and age, not only for business, for your personal growth. There is a lot of information. There's misinformation as well, but then you should know how to categorically see where to go for that information and how to validate it.
Got it, KJ. KJ, if it is not too personal to ask, what are some things that you do on the internet? Like if I am a founder or an aspiring founder, and I want to understand from, okay, these are things that KJ does, what would those be? What are, let's say, some YouTube that you listen to, some podcasts that you listen to? What do you do on the internet?
Yeah, so things have evolved, right? Of course, for me as well. The first thing in the morning I do is basically go over different newspapers in US and internationally both, just to get the general idea of what's happening in the world, and then what's happening in the business world.
Okay.
What are the major players? So I start from generic, drill down to the general business, and then look at what is happening into the tech sector.
Okay.
And how are the economic conditions, how are the business conditions, what's new out there, what I can use to benefit my growth or my business growth. How can we help the community by doing what we're doing? So an interesting thing came up, right, while we were doing research, and we recently participated in the Zoho hackathon, right? So how did we come up with the idea is the same thing, right? Like, so we did this solar ERP for using Zoho Creator, and we were one of the winners from the US market. So that is how exactly we came up with, was we were doing international research into India and Middle East, and saw that most of this solar companies are using Excel sheets or sheets, and very traditionally managing their business, even though their business employee size is maybe 500 or 1,000 employees, but there's no end-to-end ERP solution.
Okay.
So, that's right there a case where we were able to use the internet or the knowledge or what I research and convert that into an opportunity.
Oh, very nice. Thank you for sharing that, KJ. KJ, since you spoke about tech, thought we'll spend a few minutes on that. What is your view on the evolution of tech currently? Are you optimistic about the future?
As a person, I'm very optimistic about everything. So I'm very optimistic about the future. Yes, there's a lot of conversation happening within the AI space and how generative AI and other AI models are going to impact our human lives. But I think that is really far out, and it will impact in some way. But humans as a race we always figure out a solution to the problem.
Got it.
I feel that people are, yes, there are a lot of red flags coming up, and there are potential issues with AI which may or may not happen. But I think as a human race, as people, we're going to figure out how not to let that happen, or what are going to be the stopgaps before it goes out of hand. So, yeah, in general, I think tech is the way forward. It's going to take us to the next level.
Okay.
You see how was tech in 2000s, where we are. It does benefit human race in general. It helps people come out of poverty, like how Zoho does it, right? I mean, you have locations in remote villages, and that's helping communities and people come out of poverty, build a career, build a life for them. So same thing. I think tech is going to help us a lot, and I'm very optimistic.
Awesome.
It's going to go tenfolds than where we are now.
Oh, thank you so much. What got you interested in the tech space? Because I think you started saying business administration is where you studied initially and then got into information systems.
Correct.
Was that a conscious choice?
No. So as my first business, it was more into finance sector, into the mortgage and debt industry with call center and telephony. From there, one of my friends, because of my information system background, he said, why don't we do something in tech? Because tech demand was up, and there were a lot of new things coming up. Businesses required new softwares, new support systems to streamline their operations or, manage their data. So we were like, okay, I mean, it is a great space to be in. It is growing. There is a lot of need in the market for that.
Nice.
And that was a conscious move from the finance and the call center industry into the tech space.
Nice. Just finishing that thought. So can you tell us a little more about your current organization? What does it do? What is it called?
So our company is called Seashore Solutions. We're based out of Austin, Texas. We mostly offer different IT services with a couple of ERP products. So one is warehouse management system, and the other is the solar ERP. So warehouse management system is it includes logistics as well as some manufacturing functionalities.
Okay.
So those are our products, but we also do a lot of services and with Zoho, other like Microsoft and Python and mobile applications, basically for third parties in insurance sector, finance sector, food and beverage industry.
Okay.
To name a few, basically. So general services.
Got it. And how did your association with Zoho start? How did you come to know about Zoho and where did it
Right.
start?
So that's a very interesting question. About 15 months ago, we had one of our clients based in Texas wanting a multi-warehouse solution. And the products which were out there in the market, enterprise level products, were fairly expensive for, a small to medium sized company. And plus, after getting those enterprise solutions, they needed them custom for their needs, so which would become fairly expensive. So they came to us through a reference. We started talking, and I started designing, me and my team, we started designing the system to understand what it will entail and how much time it will take, what would be the effort to build something like that. And at that point, our technology stack was what it was. And then I thought it would be too cost prohibitive and too time consuming to pursue that. So we started looking at low code, and Zoho was the first one to come to our minds.
Okay.
We had our analysts look at Zoho and see whether this would actually work on Creator. And we were quite impressed with our initial research. So and as the time went, we were like sold on Zoho, and we sold the client as well that this is the best thing which will work. And now, at the end of this journey with the client, we were able to save clients almost 60% on their money spent.
Okay.
And we were able to save almost, we did that in half the time, which would have normally taken. So it was a very good and a win-win situation for everybody involved.
Thanks for that, KJ. So I actually wanted to take this opportunity to share a small personal anecdote. So I used to work for a logistics ERP company earlier. So it was my first or second day of induction, and then the business head invited us, like a few of us, like 7-8 of us who joined that day. And his first question was, okay, now I have a challenge for all of you. Show me one thing here which did not involve logistics in it. You can show me just one object, anything it is, but there shouldn't be a logistics company, a logistics service that is involved in it.
Right.
I was like, okay, we gave random answers, including software.
Right.
Then he explained saying, where is the software hosted? Some player is hosting it. Then servers have to be transported. All those things are also happening, right? So in a way, what he was trying to say is, logistics is so comprehensive and complex that it touches everything in life, including the water bottle that you are using now to the servers that are hosting your software. And he told us that, hey, that is the industry that we are serving. It is so complex. Each person will have a different need. No two logistics company is the same, etc. And it was because I joined joining a software company. I didn't realize it's serving this space. But my perspective changed after I realized about the industry, which is what I wanted to ask you as well. Like low code in itself is a very, let's say, up and coming sort of an area. Still not as popular as, let's say, the regular development methods. And logistics is more complex. How are you marrying these two? How is that working?
So I think, including myself, before getting into low code, you have that mindset or that wall in your mind which says that it's low code, so it can do everything, right? It won't be able to do everything, which is not true. Especially in the Zoho case, right? It can do everything, and let's assume it cannot do 1% of things. You can always run an API or bring something in and get it done. But people have, or the business world has that mindset that because it's called low code, it may not be as powerful, or it may not be able to do everything, right? So that's a myth. Right? So just for the audience or for people, at least that's what I realized, and my team realized that that's not the case. If I'm using any other technology and using the low-code technology, I'm able to do everything. So the low-code space has evolved in the last 10, 20 years at a level where you can pretty much do everything. And you can do it much faster, better. So for example, if you want to do a POC, if you do it using a low-code solution, you can do it much faster. If you're going to fail, you're going to fail much faster as a business, and evolve and get the right things out of that failure and develop the right system much faster, right? So that's an advantage. Once you have speed on your side, you're going to save a lot of money, right? On deployments or on other aspects, just because of the time saved. Did that answer your question?
The only other thing I would like to know is, how are you convincing the logistics companies? Because they are still on the Excel sort of a mode, offline, paper.
Right. So what we do is, for example, we build a warehousing and a logistics solution for a company based out of New York. They move high value goods and art pieces and stuff like that. And what we did was, using Zoho Creator, we designed a few of the POC pages, and just showed them what the potential was, what the capability was. And before that, they were not sold. They were on the, on a border whether to go for this. The minute we did that small POC for them and showed them the potential, they were sold, and they became our clients within 24 hours, I would say. So, I mean, even in US, there are so many logistics companies, right? There are smaller, I think there are more than 2 million logistics companies, small and big, in US. And most of them don't use software, or they don't use it in a correct fashion, because the softwares which are bundled out there does not meet their exact requirements. As you said, that every logistics company or a warehouse company works in a little different manner, right? So what we've done is we have the flows ready, and we can customize the flow as per the customer's need or the logistics company's need. So that's one thing which we are covered pretty immediately. And doing this quick POCs help us bring that opportunity into a customer.
Got it. Okay, thank you for that. A little audacious question. The problems that you're tackling or problems that you're choosing to solve, warehousing, logistics with low code, solar ERP, are you a very someone who likes challenges? Because you're not taking simple problems.
Right. And that is correct, right? It's the way I am, or the nature in me is that let's do something what everybody's not doing. So my ultimate goal in warehousing and logistics, including manufacturing, is that let's build something which is a lot more comprehensive,
Okay.
a lot more agile, so that the small and medium-sized players can use that solution and make it so customizable and at a very good value to them that it becomes a no-brainer answer for them to start using that system. So that's where I want to take this product is.
Okay.
It should be cost effective for their pockets, their businesses, as well as it should cover comprehensively all the features what they require.
Got it. Okay.
So that's what we are gearing towards, and hopefully soon we'll be able to start providing that.
Nice.
We've actually started providing it in the market.
Awesome. I just have one final low-code question, and then we move on to a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. You are a CTO. Let's say I am a marketing person. I don't understand technology.
Right.
So can I also try low-code? What is your thoughts on that? Is it for technical people? Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, there are a lot of marketing folks using low-code, at least in US markets. I think India as well.
Yeah.
And it's fairly simple. It does not have a very long learning curve. It's you can probably pick it up in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
A lot of drag and drop functionalities, ready modules, ready functionalities. So, I mean, simpler solutions are very easy to build on low code.
Okay. Thank you. The next couple of questions are more about you, understanding who you are. How do your friends define you? If we call a couple of your friends and ask, hey, who is KJ? What are some adjectives they will use about you? Energetic,
optimistic, with unique ideas, having new suggestion, new thought processes every day.
Okay.
Come up with something new to do in business, something totally offbeat.
Okay. If at all, hypothetically, you are given a chance to go back and change something in the past, in your journey, would you do anything differently? Would you want to change that moment? I wish I did differently.
In the business world, the immediate thought is I should have started using low code maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
That's one for sure, because we were talking about it.
Okay.
Because then I could have built my product journey much faster, right? And not just be doing services for others. So that's one for sure. The others, what I would change? No, because every experience is unique. You learn something, and if you have not failed, you have not learned, or you've not grown. It is the failures and the path I've taken, or I've been shown is what has taken me here right now.
Very nice.
And I'm at a very happy state of mind and living.
Yeah.
Enjoying life,
Yeah, and that happiness
take multiple vacations a year.
That happiness is contagious because I also am feeling that vibe in you when I'm having this conversation with you. Very nice to see that.
Thank you.
Talking of vacations, how long have you been a Zoho partner, and how many times have you visited Zoho?
So I've been officially a Zoho partner about 11 months. And this is my third trip to Zoho.
How is that possible?
So, if I get into something, it's in my nature to give 100%, be committed. Otherwise, you cannot get where you want to get, right? So once I understood what Zoho was, what Creator is, how I can use it for my business, I wanted to know the people behind, right? Like Vinu and others, and I wanted to understand what's the culture, how I can grow with, because it's not just, I'm just not an implementation partner, right? I'm committing myself, my time, resources, money, everything. And the most important thing out of that is time. So if I'm willing to commit my time into something, I want to know how we will gel, how we will grow. And once once you come here and you understand how the ecosystem works, you can contribute.
Got it.
You can give ideas, no matter how small or what it is.
Yeah.
And, going off bit a little bit, but what happens is, as an outsider, when you look into something, right, those first initial ideas which you get are the game changers. They can, take you to the next level. So that was one of the reasons, a few of the reasons for me to come here, to meet the team, to understand how I can work and grow with Zoho.
Got it. Going back to again your entrepreneurial journey, this podcast, our channel is like most of our followers are either from the developer community or let's say founders and aspiring entrepreneurs.
Right.
So what is your message to them, if at all you want to pass a message to them saying, hey, this is my suggestion or advice for future entrepreneurs, what would that be?
So is it related, the suggestions to the tech side or business side?
Not just tech, in general as an individual, as someone who has done it, walked the path earlier, I am aspiring to walk the path, what would you tell me? It's not just tech, anything under the sun.
Right. So, talking about tech is now, when I started tech, it was much smaller than what it is now. The tech world is complex, many services, many products. So choose where you want to be. You can't be everywhere, especially when you're starting up, right? So if you decide the vertical, decide the space you want to be, and try and become an expert in there. Talk to people, ask questions. People in general are very nice. They help you, because they want to see you grow. And so pick your space and be very specific in what you want to do. Don't generalize yourself. That's one thing at the tech level. At the business level, there's no tomorrow. If you want to do it just today. Just jump into it and start doing it. Because overthinking will kill it. That's what that's what I've done. So I would recommend that to do.
Got it. Can you also talk to us about, let's say, one of the failures that you have encountered? Because you mentioned that I failed and then I came back, etc. So, and how did you handle that phase? Because that is what many of us are afraid of.
Right.
Okay, if I take this path, I will jump. Right. Or what if I fail? If someone like you tells us that, hey, this is how I failed and this is how I came out of it, it will be a good learning for us.
So I would not say what industry it was or what it was, but in my first dabble into business, or when I was trying out to quit my job and where I did a job while studying for a couple of years, but I wanted to quit that and get into business. So I thought, okay, let me try doing business, and that's a wrong word to use, not try, but I should have done it. So, so that was my thought, right? That let me try doing business.
Oh, okay.
So that is not how you should look at it. You should just do it, just go for it and put all eggs in one basket. Because you're young, you can take that failure.
Okay.
As you age, it's difficult to take that failure. So start young, put everything in there to make it succeed. And yes, I did fail in my first business. So what I did was I did go back to job for a few months, put my thoughts together as to why I failed. Was it the industry? Was it how I was working? And then reapproached that and figured out. So I went into an industry which was already crowded. It was a very generic industry. So I regrouped my thoughts and then came up with where the growth is happening, right? So you can always ride the wave of growth to start something. So I researched and I understood that, okay, there is this growth opportunity. This is what I should be doing. And it's easier to start a business there. So I found that gap or that growth model within an industry sector and became part of that. And that's how my journey started. And that's what got me to success.
Got it. Oh, very nice. Thank you for sharing that. I remember like when you said about trying versus actually doing it, there was one old Indian TV commercial where one character will tell the other, like he puts a stick in front and says, now try to lift this stick. The other person will actually lift it. Then, no, you're actually lifting it. Don't
Just
lift
try.
it. Just try. Nothing. I'm just here. So the thought
Exactly.
of I will try is actually doing nothing. You actually go and do it is the message of that ad. Last couple of questions, KJ, from my side. One is more on the humor, personal, fun side.
Okay.
This transition from India to US, are there some anecdotes that you can never forget? Oh, this happened to me and I learned. Where I am coming from is when I first traveled to US, there was some delivery that I was expecting. So I was telling the hotel lobby that, hey, my package will come or my courier will come. I think I used some word which they were never able to understand, which is a very common word here.
Right.
Then I realized that they were expecting, I think in US it is commonly called delivery. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Then I think courier is a very common word in India. So I was going for, I will get a courier, I will get a parcel, which the person never understood. So it took 10 minutes for me to realize, oh, okay, this is the gap. Long back, 7-8 years back.
Right.
So I'm sure in your transition, you would have faced.
So, I mean, yes, I faced a lot of, conversation differences. The one I remember, and I don't know why I remember this now, is,
Okay.
How we call capsicum here as a vegetable is called green pepper there.
Okay.
So I went to a store one day, my wife sent me, and I was like, I was asking somebody there, can I buy a capsicum? And that person could not get what I was trying to say, and then realized that it's called green peppers. And I don't know why I just remember that, but that was one of the instances.
In a business context, culturally, did you find differences?
So I've never done business in India before going there because I was there for my education stayed back. So during that time, I couldn't see the differences. I can see the differences now. And now I do have presence in India as well as US. And both the places have its own goods and the bad, right? The working styles. And it's how you take it. I think I like both this way, how India operates, how US operates. One thing I've noticed, because I operate at both the locations, is that India right now seems to have a lot more opportunities, because as the businesses are growing, they're adapting to technology right now. So that adaptation cycle here is much faster and much larger in volume than US, because US, a lot of businesses already have been using technology for the last 10, 12 years.
Okay.
So that's the big difference I'm seeing right now.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe, we are in that curve where we are catching up in India. So I think that adoption is higher. One final question is this, KJ. So let's assume there is a genie here that is wishing you that, hey, whatever you ask for now is going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
What are your, let's say, 2 wishes that you're going to ask the genie?
I want to be happy with my family.
Okay.
And just enjoy life, basically, because ultimately what you earn in life is happiness, right? I mean, if you are happy, everything will fall at its place.
Got it.
So I always strive for happiness, and I tell my kids, right? No matter what you want to be in life, the first thing you should be is happy. Once you're happy, everything is good.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I see a lot of commonalities between, let's say, Zoho or our approach and what you said as well, because we also believe, or at least in the creator ecosystem, what I am putting forward to my team is also this: happy people are productive people.
Right.
When you are in that frame of mind, because you're knowledge workers, when you're in that frame of mind, when you're happy, it will reflect in your work, in your output, in the way you interact with people, and how you are as an individual as well.
Right.
Very, very interesting conversation, this KJ. Thank you so much for taking this time and doing this.
Thank you, Bharath.
Please keep visiting India. We will continue these conversations.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.